Edmonton Rush continue their quest for perfection. They are looking for their 11th straight win. In their way, the Buffalo Bandits. Tonight on the Lacrosse Network, it's the best in the West. 10-0 Edmonton Rush versus the best in the East, the 8-2 Buffalo Bandits. Good evening, lacrosse fans. Welcome to Rexall Place in Edmonton. Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard as the Edmonton Rush look for their franchise record, 11th win of a season, try to continue their record of 11 straight, and also if they win tonight, their first ever home playoff date will be secured, but it will not be easy. The two best teams in the league, Kevin Howard, two best defensive teams, the two best goaltenders. This is a marquee matchup on Friday night.
Great battle, two big, physical, strong teams, and they just, Buffalo owns the East. Edmonton is obviously dominant right now. They've had everything working for them this year. Offensively, they're putting up big numbers. Defensively, Aaron Boll has been phenomenal. He's kept an unbelievable goals against average, and defensively, they've just been sound. Everyone's buying into the system, all on the same page, and everything's working for them.
Two good defenses, and both of them led with defensive guys that are scoring. Chris Corbeil leads the league in goals by defensemen with 9. Meanwhile, Priolo for Buffalo, Steve has 18 points so far this season. That's the most in the league. So while you've got two defensive teams, both of them love to push the ball up the floor. Expect to see a lot of transition.
Well, that's one little weapon that some of these teams that, seem to find their way at the top of the standings is when you have some contribution from some transition guys and some defensive players that run the floor and chip in. That's the way you get over the 10, 11, 12 goal plateau. That's the elusive double-digit territory. If you put up 10, 11, 12, you should win more than you lose in this league.
Also, we see the greatest offensive player the NLL has ever seen, the ageless wonder, John Tavares, 45 years of age. He's still averaging 2 goals per game. He's got 18 and 9. And you got one of the best young up-and-coming offensive players in Mark Matthews. Two opposite ends of the spectrum in size and type of players. And always a pleasure to watch John Tavares, even at his age, Kevin. Really now it seems his ball smarts more than anything else allow him to still be a dangerous player.
I think, what else can you say about John Tavares? He is phenomenal. I had the privilege to play with him and against him, and he is very, very smart. Jim Beltman was smart on the defensive side, one of the greatest all time to play that position, but offensively, John Tavares gets it done. Just very smart. See the vision. He sees the floor so well and makes everyone around him that much better.
The matchups tonight to look for, you've got Ryan Benesh offensively for Buffalo. He'll likely see a heavy dose of guys like Corbeil, Brett Midsky, and the two-time reigning defensive player of the year, Kyle Rubisch.
Well, the two-man matchups, there isn't too many weaknesses on this offensive, the Rush offense, but you throw in an Aaron Wilson now, one of the best off-ball players this game has ever seen, and they have a couple real good boys. Sean Williams, phenomenal player. Chad Culp, unbelievable. Benesh just seems to put up the numbers year after year. And, of course, the ageless one, John Tavares. And they have lots of speed with Stainhouse running up the floor. And Billy D. Smith has a lot of speed. So, this Edmonton Rush team will have their hands full tonight.
And you mentioned Sean Williams, one of the great players, one of only 6 players in NLL history to have over 1,000 points, going through a very tough time with his young son, Tucker, and the Edmonton Rush honoring that tonight with the Braver Than Brave T-shirts that will be sold throughout Rexall Place tonight. It's a great initiative by the league to really jump behind a family in a tough time, and it's outstanding to see how every team in the league and all the players and all the fans have really rallied around the Williams family, and that's something to watch for tonight at Rexall Place as we go to the anthem. Very spiritual rendition here at Rexall Place in Edmonton. Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard, the 8-2 Buffalo Bandits in the road black and orange, taking on the undefeated 10-0 Edmonton Rush in their home white with the gray trim. Starting goaltenders tonight, the two best in the league right now. Aaron Bold comes in with the league best 8.19 goals against average and his second best save percentage at .809. First in the league, Anthony Cosmo with an .815 save percentage and a 9.96 goals against average. The big difference in 10 games respectively, Bold averaging, he's faced 321 shots. Meanwhile, Cosmo has faced 100 more in 428. The Rush come in giving up the fewest shots allowed at 42 per game. Meanwhile, Buffalo ranks worst in the NLL. They've given up the most, 54.2 shots. They rely on Anthony Cosmo a lot more. The Rush defense, when they need Aaron Bold, he's there, but their defense does not allow a lot of shots.
Well, what a treat it is to play behind these players. Kyle Rubish, phenomenal. Brett Midsky, everyone's just getting it done. Lintz, Cornwall, Corbeil, Dilks, you go on and on about this defensive core, and they're doing a great job. The shots that are getting away have been less than high quality, I should say. They're doing a great job of letting this offense hold on to the ball and then just dump it in the corner and turn it around. So maybe that's why Edmonton Rush have not allowed that many shots in comparison to Buffalo. And Buffalo should and will have their hands full with this offensive crew for Edmonton. Very explosive, led by Mark Matthews. And Riley Lowen, injury on the shoulder last week, 2 weeks ago. He'll be out for another week, I believe, and coming back next week.
Likely the Rush are on the road in Rochester next Saturday and in Toronto on Sunday afternoon. I spoke with head coach Derek Keeney before the game. He feels Lowen could be ready to go next week. Sorgetti, another young draft pick of the Edmonton Rush, will be in the lineup tonight for them, wearing, of course, number 72, his second NLL game. Starting lineups tonight for the Bandits: Suttons, Stainhouse, Brian Thornbird, and Dane Smith. And Thompson, who's fourth in the league in faceoffs, against Thornbird, who's second, will get things going. And Thornbird moves early, so the Rush with the first possession. Matthews, Greer, Church, and Davis. As well as Knight. Matthews comes in and rings one quickly off the post and out of play. Knight and Matthews tied for the team lead in goals with 19. And they're going to reset the net. Interesting watching Billy D. Smith, Kevin, one of the few guys who plays old school. He'll play defense and then come up the floor and stick on the offensive set. I love that. We don't see it enough in today's game.
Well, that's how all young players should be taught to play. I mean, too many times these coaches in minor lacrosse want to teach their kids to play just straight offense, straight defense. Good, like you said, good old school. That's what we all grew up on, and he is very talented at both ends. Just like John Tavares, you might see him take some runs out the back gate and turn it up in transition.
So Matthews into the corner, halfway through the shot clock to Greer, missed the pass. The Bandits can't control it, and Davis has it. Davis down low quickly. 7 seconds, and Knight fires a spin shot wide, and it's collected by Bryant. Bandits, bright jerseys, very easy to pick up. From a selfish point of view, I love it. There's Ryan Benesh, former Rush. Surprised that Minnesota moved him in the offseason. Williams drops the pass. Resetaritz gets it back. Lintz on him. Resetaritz up high. And there's the legend Tavares. Back to Resetaritz. Wide and high. And Tavares hits Cornwall. Bends that off, and Cornwall will sprint across center. A minute gone in the scoreless first quarter. Sorgetti in his second NLL game. Back to Matthews. Zach Greer, who missed a few games earlier this year with a whiplash last concussion. Now he's back in. Little hesitation move in the neutral zone. Both defenses very aggressive. They like to press. Conway on Culp. To Greer, a quick shot stopped by Cosmo. Rebound controlled by the Bandits. And they'll push it up the floor. Coming in slowly, they'll set up. There's Stainhouse, zings it across the Benesh. Back at Tavares. Brock out there as well for Buffalo. Coming down the left side, a shot, Bull, big rebound. Controlled by Stainhouse. Rubish on his hands. Buffalo will reset. Stainhouse. Corbeil cuts him off. Dumps it off the bench. Williams a shot. Rebound controlled by the Rush, and early on, both Cosmo and Bold have felt the ball.
Very quick pace at both ends, and here you see a lot of this pressured defense. You see, as soon as Edmonton crosses the line, they have someone right on them. And watch Billy D very active and on that offensive player's hands, whoever does have the ball, making them work.
Rush are really going to try to get to the middle of the floor. Buffalo, Cosmo's angle is exceptional if he's on the side. And there's Sorgetti, and it squeezes through. It comes out the backside wide of the net. Sorgetti hustles to the rebound, drops it, and it's controlled by Buffalo. And I know the game plan for the Rush is to try to shoot from the middle of the field, and they're the Bandits. Unforced error, unable to control it, was Briolo, and it'll be Rush ball. 3 minutes gone, scoreless first quarter. Greer running away from Bromwell, dumps it back. Sorgetti will circle to get it. Sorgetti trains a lot of NFL players, Kevin, down in California. Maybe one of the best shaped players in the NLL. Greer to the middle of the floor. He's got a lane, but he's hit just as he releases it. Goes to the corner. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Conway into the middle to Church, and he's rocked to the floor. And now we're going to get a cross-checking penalty, I think. Wow, that's kind of a weak call. Church was on the floor, and I guess they felt like he was in a vulnerable position, so Brunel still sit down for 2. I hear the referee signaling he was down, had his knee on the ground before the cross-check. So.
Weak call, can't say I agree with that one. Ref, again, a judgment call, as many of them are, and some Buffalo players not agreeing with that call. You are allowed to cross-check in this game. I'm not sure what he saw, but we're going to have a look at this Edmonton Rush power play.
They do try to crack down if the guy's vulnerable right in the back, and I guess that's what his decision was. So here's the Rush power play. Matthews from a sharp angle, stopped by Cosmo, goes out of play. Rush come in on the power play. The Rush ranking 7th at 42%. Buffalo's penalty kill comes in ranked 2nd at 56. Conway in front, Church scores! Right in tight. Perfect shooting lane, and Church opens up the scoring. That's his 11th of the season.
Well, great shot by Church, but that was all set up by Conway up at the top, just having the patience, looking him off, pumping it, and moving it over to Church, opening up that lane for him, and he makes no mistake putting it bottom corner on Cosmo to open the score with a power play marker.
Lauren Burt wins the draw, and Buffalo with possession. Culp, who plays out both gates as well. To Tavares. That's Wilson. Resetaritz moving around, pass knocked down by Dilks. Tavares gets to it quickly in the corner. Tavares with 1,666 career points. 400 ahead of Colin Doyle, who's second with 1,262. There's an errant pass by the Rush, and Buffalo will get it back. They'll control it. Dane Smith running right up the floor. Little give and go. Smith gets it back. Spins off Corbeil. The rest of Terrence back high to Wilson. On the right side, Banesh. Cross to Smith. The address of Terrence couldn't get it to him. Spins it back. Firing. Scores. It's Colin Wilson. Just a rug burner by Aaron Bold, and we are tied at 1.
Aaron Wilson, little work off ball. Snuck in behind the Rush defenders, and they just kind of lost track of where he was. They have a double down on Dane Smith, the hot prospect for the Buffalo Bandits, and Aaron Wilson gets the ball and makes no mistake, firing it low, far corner on Bold.
So Wilson in his 4th game gets his 4th goal of the season. And we are tied. And Tavares now with 1,667 career points as he picks up an apple on that. He's now 34 on the season. And once again, Thornburg moves early, so it'll be Rush possession.
21 power play goals. Now what does that mean? That means that
Church tonight.
Donated $100 for every goal, so $2,100 to
Knight down low in the corner to Matthews. Waiting for a pick. Matthews trying to get to that career, looking to get to the middle. Forced all the way back. We got another delayed penalty coming up to Buffalo. Extra attacker on as the Rush, another errant pass. Cosmo touches it, and Edmonton will go back on the power play. They are 1 for 1. We are tied at 1 shots, 5-3 Edmonton with 5:20 gone in the first quarter of play as you're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Get some new team gear for the season by visiting the NLL shop online. Go to shop.nll.com for the best prices and selection on clothing and accessories for all 9 teams. With flat rate shipping and no hassle returns, the NLL shop is the place for all things NLL. Visit shop.nll.com today. Powered by Fanatics.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard. 1-1 the score, 5:20 in. Edmonton, a power play goal from Church. And Buffalo responded a minute later. Aaron Wilson's fourth. And we are tied at 1. Thornburg got a cross-checking penalty just before the timeout. So Edmonton goes back on the man advantage, 1 for 1. They now have 21 goals on 50 power play attempts this year. Greer, Matthews, Conway, Church, and Knight. Conway rolls back now to Church. Down low, waiting, doesn't shoot it, back to Conway. The Knight, hesitation. Knight right on the crease, he just missed it wide. Now Buffalo just going to let him shoot from there.
You see Buffalo in a real tight box, letting him.
And there's Priolo, who leads the league in defensive points, gets his 19th point, 7 goal of the season. That's his 3rd shorthanded, and Buffalo leads 2-1.
And Priolo lumbering up the floor, very slow, methodical. I don't think anyone was thinking he was going to shoot. Surprised a couple bodies. Conway was right on him, and there was no urgency to get on him and try to take the ball or strip. Priolo just went right to the net and buried it past Bowles for a shorthanded goal.
Lackadaisical defensive set, and he's the most dangerous defensive player in the league right now, offensively anyway, so the Rush will now try to tie it up with the man advantage. Back comes Conway, Matthews, Church, and Knight. They switched the power play early in the season when it got stagnant. They moved Matthews to the right shooter position, put Conway in the middle with his heavy shot. Conway now to Matthews. Firing! Stop by Cosmo. Rebound controlled. Minute to go in the man advantage. To Conway. Fires wide and high. And that went off a Buffalo defender. It's a race for it, but that'll be shot clock, over and back. And now Priolo quickly on it. Here come Bandits shorthanded again, and Bold has to make a quick leg save off the Stainhouse. Very dangerous are the Bandits shorthanded. They lead the league with shorties. Now they've got 8. Conway back to center. Rush got to get a little bit more motion right now. Guys just standing still, and Buffalo allowed them to shoot from the outside on Cosmo. From a sharp angle, it's in. And Knight bounced one from a sharp angle off the side of Cosmo's leg and into the net, and we are tied at 2.
Great quick stick by Curtis Knight. Not too much Anthony Cosmo could do there. They just had that tight little box, and there's a big pump from Matthews and threw it right down to Knight, right on the crease. Quick sticked it, and there's all sorts of holes when your goalie's coming across. He can't cover everything. He's got to move his body. Great pass and finish by the Edmonton Rush. Power play marker.
So Rush 2 for 2 on the power play. Back on the Bandits. Smith the shot. Resetarits fighting for the rebound, but Rubish comes up with it for Edmonton. And the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year will hustle across center. Leave it for Greer. Shot 7-6 Edmonton midway through the first quarter of a 2-2 game. Priolo lost the stick. See if the Rush can take advantage. Church drops the pass. Ball's loose, and it's gobbled up by Sutton's former Rush. At his best offensive season last year, lighting the lamp 5 times. Back comes Smith. Shot blocked easily. Rebound. Suttons couldn't control it, and it's picked up by Lintz. Lintz avoids the check. Headmans it to Cornwall. Cornwall flips it to Knight. He'll head to the bench as Davis comes on. And Sorgetti. Here's Knight. To Conway. Back to Sorgetti. Back to Conway. Conway waiting. Firing high and wide. And Cosmo picks up a lot of shots over top the net, Kevin. Looks like they got the scouting report to try to go high on Cosmo. Not sure if that's effective. Hard to beat him anywhere. Stainhouse off the bench. Down low to Benesh. Benesh falling. Mitski on him, jars it loose. Now it's a fight for it, and it's picked up. Corbeil scoops in to grab it. Corbeil with 9 goals already on the season. Trots across center. He'll flip it to Greer and head to the bench. Greer, Brock once again right on him. Into the middle, Davis dropped the pass. It rolls to Matthews. Back to Greer. To Conway. Not a lot of cutters so far tonight. Conway across the floor, right in Greer's hands. Couldn't control it. And it's Buffalo possession. And it looks like we've got a delayed penalty coming up against the Rush. It was away from the play. Might be, not sure if it could be too many men or a legal substitution. But it's extra attacker on now for Buffalo. Benesh to Williams, down low to Tavares, back to Williams. Benesh over to Stainhouse, to Smith. Cross Tavares. In front, what a pass! He buries it wide open on the top of the crease with Resetaritz. And Buffalo with the extra attacker goal leads 3-2.
There you see the vision for John Tavares. Delayed call. 6 guys on the floor for the Buffalo Bandits. Resetaritz just sets up shop right in the middle of the floor. This is your no-look pass coming from John Tavares. Not too much they can do. He had 2 options on there. Snuck in right on top of the crease for a quick one-time shot and goal past Aaron Bold.
No chance for Bold. Great ball movement, and Buffalo leads 3-2. Off the drop, it's loose, and Thompson battling with it. Knight's able to come up with it, and he'll have it. And once again, you see both defenses love to pressure. A lot of forwards are used to having time in the neutral zone. Neither team gives them that. Zorgetti down the right side. Off the bench comes Davis to Church. Through the middle of the floor. Shot. Big rebound. And it bounces right to Rory Smith. And if I don't think, last I checked, none of these Smiths are related. But there's a lot of them. Billy D, Rory, Dane. Tavares and Stainhouse play a little give and go. Stainhouse backpedaling into the corner. And Cornwall, that's his 18th forced turnover of the season. 3rd in the league. And that'll be a shot clock violation against the Bandits. And you see Cornwall and Rubish, 2 of the best in the NLL at jarring balls loose, getting on the hands. And the Rush offense, who has yet to score at even strength, will try to get going. When we return, you're watching the NLL on the Lacrosse Network.
Last night's guest was rookie for the Philadelphia Wings, Garrett Thull.
John Tavares came into the season with 1,666 points, Kevin. Of course, I forgot that he had scored 33 before tonight, so that wasn't his 1,667th. That was his 1,700 career point. You think anybody breaks that record?
Well, Colin Doyle seems to be...
He's like 400 points behind.
Like, yeah, he is looking a little thinner nowadays, too, so if he keeps doing the yoga and that, yeah. I mean, he might get maybe...
Like, you got to play 5 years at 80 points.
I was going to say.
And I spoke to John on my radio show this week. It doesn't sound like he's retiring at the end of the season. So he's likely going to end up with probably 750 plus, 1750 plus.
Yeah, it's impressive. And, I mean, wow. Like, he's put together quite the season and just doesn't seem to slow down. Like, he's been just the model of consistency.
Well, he joked that he says, I'm slower than I was before. But yeah, I asked him if he's going to become the Gordie Howe lacrosse. And he said, only if there's a few more expansion teams.
Well, for 45 years old, I sure hope I can move like that.
No,
45.
Ridiculous. 1,700 career points. And he started when the seasons were only 8 games. As the Rush pass knocked down, and quickly Buffalo running the floor with some speed right up the middle. And won't shoot it. Runwell just spins off to Brock, spinning through the maze. Wide open in front, Smith, and he's stopped from behind by Corbeil. Kind of impacted that shot. Now Corbeil hustles to get the loose ball, and he'll run the floor. It's a 3-on-2 for Edmonton. Corbeil right to the middle, shooting. He ripped it wide of the net. Culp, good hand-eye to get it off the end boards, and they'll come back the other way. 3-on-2, Billick trying to catch up. Culp right in the middle, shot bold, no rebound as we go end to end. in Edmonton, and you expect this. Two teams that love to push the pace. Thompson to Matthews. Matthews just bowls his way in and then lost the ball. Greer picks it back up. That's going to be a holding call. Easy call by the officials. Bromwell. Knight avoids two hits. He's wide open, walking in, waiting. What a stop by Cosmo. He robbed him on the doorstep. And the Rush will go back on the man advantage. They're 2 for 2. Trying to make it 3 for 3 and tie this game.
And Curtis Knight looks skyward. The sea just absolutely parted for him. Everyone just left Cosmo high and dry, and he threw him about 3 or 4 good hard fakes, and Anthony Cosmo shuts the door.
You don't see that very often, to have a guy come out of the corner and then just wide open, and you see the replay. And what a stop by Cosmo. Knight wanted to go a little bit more 5-hole, I think. So the Rush, 2 for 2 on the man advantage. Same 5. Church, Knight on the left side. Conway at the top, and then they'll have Matthews and Greer. Down low to Greer. From a sharp angle, over the shoulder shot right at the feet. Cosmo kicks it in the corner. Church then shovels it back to Matthews. Matthews and Conway at the top. Conway back to Matthews, firing off the crossbar. Now Cosmo didn't even move. Conway, new 30-second shot clock. Fires wide. That's gonna be over and back. Originally they whistled the top referee said it was touched, but then the referee, wisely close to the net, overruled him, and indeed it is Buffalo ball. Minute 15 to go in the man advantage. Buffalo already has 1 shorty, and they lead the league with 8. Tavares, Panesh, Williams, and Stainhouse. Rubish and Cornwall. And now Minsky comes in. They all converge. Loose ball push in the back against Cornwall, so Buffalo is going to get a new 30-second shot clock. That'll kill off more time. Cornwall, though, right on Stainhouse. Tough to jar the ball loose from him, one of the best in the league at protecting it. Rush still on him. Now it is jarred loose. Now Benesh, another loose ball push against the Rush. Push in the back. Mark, are we going to get a penalty? The referee at center called Cornwall's. So the close ref calls it a push in the back, and the ref across the floor calls it a penalty. Not a fan of that at all. The official who's closer has a much better vantage point.
At least they're consistent. I guess that's what you can say. I mean, that was very close to what happened that first call of the game against Buffalo. And the Rush ended up bearing a power play marker on that. So at least, again, calling it consistent. He called it one way, and I guess setting the tone that that's the way it's going to be called all game.
So 4-on-4 for 40 seconds. Tavares and Benesh. Mitski on his hands with Dilks, Rubish, and Corbeil. Little hesitation. Smith now airline mails that pass over the head of Wilson. Ball's loose. Wilson still battling for it. Now Rubish comes in. Rubish comes up with it to Corbeil. He's rocked. Dilks and the Rush are going to have to hurry to get it across center. And Dilks will just fire at the length of the floor. There's a race for it. Cosmo comes to get it. And then that's a loose ball push as Priolo rocked Davis.
That's a little bit of interference there by Buffalo.
Davis to Matthews. Matthews a shot and he missed the net. And the Rush, they're missing the net a lot with some good shot opportunities. And Buffalo now on the man advantage.
And tough break, not too much awareness by Mark Matthews. Got a little excited, took that shot when he could have killed maybe another 20 seconds off this Bandits power play.
Rusher shorthanded and Curtis Knight's on the floor. Look for the Bandits to try to attack him. He's down low on the right corner. Benesh. Down low, Resiteris to Benesh. Smith, shot, Bold, rebound, shoveled and stopped by Bold. Resiteris just tried to dive and shovel that loose ball in.
Great job by Curtis Knight filling in. As a defensive system, when you're playing a box or a triangle, you need all 4 guys on the same page. They did a very good job of masking that and pretending he knew exactly what was going on.
Shot clock down to 11 seconds. Score clock 21. 3-2 Buffalo. Matthews. Pass long, and that misses. Greer goes right to Cosmo. And the Bandits will have it with the final possession. They're on the man advantage. And Cosmo will not go to the bench. They'll just go 5-on-4. Tavares. Back to Dane Smith. Smith in front, and Benesh can't get the shot away as Rubish caught him from behind, and the Bandits on the road lead after the first quarter, and that is very important because the Bandits and Rush both undefeated when leading after the first quarter. We'll see if that trend continues later on this evening on the Lacrosse Network. You're watching the NLL.
The next Edmonton Rush home game is on Saturday, April 5th, as the Rush host the Colorado Mammoth here at Rexall Place. Game time is 7 p.m. For tickets, visit edmontonrush.com.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard, back live at Rexall Place. Shots 12-10 in favor of the Edmonton Rush. Rush now 2 for 3 on the man advantage. Buffalo with 9 seconds remaining in their first power play. Buffalo did score a shorthanded goal and an extra attacker goal in the first quarter. Rush had 2 power play markers. And as we mentioned, John Tavares, if you're just joining us, scored his 1,700 career point on that Wilson goal. He now has 1,701 as he assisted on Resetarit's goal as well.
I like to mention a lot is being made of this style of defense, and really I think Troy Cordingley kind of pioneered this defense and brought it into the league when he was with Calgary, and you know what, every team seems to be emulating it. It's that, well, it really forces these defensive players to be very athletic, high athleticism, high pressure, and and be able to match feet with all these athletic forwards.
Just like we saw there as the Rush create the turnover, and here comes Mitski. Off the bench is Greer. Greer trying to cut to the middle of the floor. Culp runs into Mitski, and then the pass airmailed over his head by Greer. Cornwall trying to get to the loose ball. Jars it free from Culp, and Greer gets it back. And Jeff Cornwall creating another turnover has become very good at that. Greer across the floor. Rush only have 4 guys on the floor. I'm not sure why. Now finally the 5th comes on. Here's Greer, long shot. Rebound. Loose in the slot. Rush changing so much. Now Billick jars it loose. It'll roll to the far boards. Battling still on the floor. Forgetti in there as well. Now Culp comes in with a big hit. Lots of pushing and shoving. And is Brock going to get a penalty out of this? He is. Oh, Brock. Ref's calling it close tonight.
That's not a penalty in my mind. That's just a little bit of
pro lacrosse. You know what? The officials have been phenomenal here in Edmonton this year. They let the teams play. We've seen some physical games. You know, the Rush and the Bandits, it's not like this is Buffalo or Rochester where they have a heated, long-time rivalry. Buffalo and Edmonton don't have that. There's not a lot of bad blood coming into this game.
Well, the referee's calling it very, very tight, and the Edmonton Rush will get their 4th opportunity of the game. 2 for 3 on the PP.
Same 5 again. Conway to Matthews, scores! Matthews rips one short side for his 20th of the season, and we are tied at 3.
Mark Matthews with a great snipe from the outside. Good shot, good hard overhand shot, and that was set up by a great pick by Church, taking over, setting a good hard pick, going where Corey Conway would normally be, but good hard pick gave that lane for Mark Matthews to just step into one and rip that short side.
His 20th goal of the season, scorer number
Buffalo controls it off the faceoff. Quick ball movement. Now errant pass, and here's a break. Running up the floor, it's a 2-on-1. And Billick, as Benesh shows great speed to get back and harass him, doesn't take the shot. And the Rush will control it. Matthews on the near side through the middle. Goes all the way across the floor. Back coming off the bench is Knight. Knight gets under a check, waiting. and he can't get the shot away. Now he circles around. Cross Greer, Wade shoots. What a stop by Anthony Cosmo right on the doorstep. What quick feet by Cosmo. Culp controlling it the other way to Resetaritz. Zings it back to Benesh. Off the bench comes Wilson. Benesh, submarine shot well wide. Battle for it, and it's picked up by the Bandits. Stainhouse into the corner. Back outside, they play a little around the outside. Wilson tried to force one inside. Now LaFontaine juggles it high. Resetaritz right on him. And Mitski will come in to pick it up for Edmonton. He'll get across center.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see on the power ring, we are in our 2-minute drill.
Mitski down the left side to Matthews. Little high swim move. Good recovery by the Bandits defense. Now in front here, Sorgetti scores! Adrian Sorgetti's first NLL goal, and the Rush lead 4-3.
Sorgetti with a great cut through the middle, just sets a big hard pick, goes to the net hard, gets that pass and makes no mistake burying it on Cosmo. Cosmo seems to be playing a little give and take with his 5-hole. That seems to be where everyone's going. Much like one of the greatest goalies to ever play the game, Dallas Elliott, giving some and taking it away. That way, that time Sorgetti being able to snipe it 5-hole before he puts his stick in there.
Well, here come the Bandits right back in. Culp ties it up at 4 as Tavares gets his 3rd assist of the night. And we are going back and forth at Rexall Place in Edmonton.
Well, Chad Culp doing what great teams do, is answering real quick. Lacrosse is a game of momentum, and they answer the bell, come back right back the other way, and Chad Culp, the Arthur, Ontario native, burying it to tie this game at 4.
17 seconds after the Rush took the lead, the Bandits tie it up. Thompson off the draw. Controlling it to Greer. Greer fakes the shot. And we got too many men. The Rush only have 3 guys on the floor. How is this a penalty? I'm not sure how the official can call Edmonton with too many men when they only had 3 out the front gate and the other 2 defensemen were standing right there.
And you know, Dilks went off and he said, look, there's 3 guys out there. I make 4. Where's the call? And I'm not sure. I think the ref is just maybe saving face and staying strong with this call, but I don't agree with that one. This will be served by their in-home. Jarrett Davis will sit down for 2 or less, and we get another look at the Buffalo Bandits power play.
Yeah, I got to do something out of order here. First of all, let's go with Buffalo's goal. Scorer number 19, Chad Culp, the assistant to number 11.
Bandits go on their 2nd power play. They're 0 for 1, albeit an abbreviated power play.
Time to go 3.4.
So Stainhouse, Wilson, Tavares, Benesh, and Resetaritz. Excuse me. They got an extra attacker goal through the Bandits, and that pass is intercepted by Dilks. Dilks and Corbeil, 2-on-2. Dilks down the left side, working on Benesh, and he won't shoot it. And Ryan Benesh really showing some great speed 2 times tonight to get back. Now Matthews, a long shot. He was looking short side high and missed. And Benesh will go the other way. Stainhouse and Resetaritz off the bench quickly. Resetaritz through the middle, back to Benesh. To Stainhouse. Resetaritz back to Stainhouse. Across to Benesh, down low Tavares. Right in front. Open was Wilson. He just missed the pass. Now Rubish knocks that one down momentarily. Tavares gets it back. 4 seconds on the shot clock. His shot off the stick. Controlled rebound high to Benesh. And that'll be a shot clock violation.
It is Edmonton ball.
And now Dilks. They whistle it in. Dilks being hounded. Priolo right on him. Both teams so aggressive on the ball carry. It's exciting to watch. Conway, who's been in on all 4 Rush goals tonight. 4 helpers for Conway. Rush are tied for 4th in the NLL with 5 shorthanded goals. On the crease to Matthews, and he just slung it wide. And now Smith will pick it up. Stainhouse off the bench, and he won't force the pass. He'll dump it to Benesh, right in the middle. Benesh, Rubish on him. Benesh will just go to the boards and wait. Get 5 attackers on. Williams comes on with Ressa Terrace and Dane Smith. They play a little give and go on the outside. New look here on this man advantage. Up high, staying out. Benesh over the shoulder. Bold holds on, no rebound. And headmans it with 2 seconds to go in the power play, and Buffalo will go 0 for 2. Davis will stay on the floor. And Conway comes on now through the middle. Long shot, they score! Jared Davis bounces one through Cosmo for a 5-4 lead.
Jared Davis from way outside coming around and just has a look, and if no one's going to take me, I'm going to fire this, and beats Cosmo with a bouncing shot for their 5th goal of the game.
Davis had an 8-point game earlier this season, now has his 10th goal of the season. Back and forth we go. Thompson had it, lost his balance, and Brock picks it up. Wilson pushed up against the boards, but was able to get it to Brock. Over to Tavares. The call. Back to Wilson. And Aaron Bold with a helper on the last rush goal as the ball's loose. Buffalo wins that loose ball battle. Tavares in the middle. Got a stick on the floor. There's an illegal pick. And Cornwall was set to go off the races, but whistled down. And when we return, it'll be rush ball. 8:44 to go in the half. 5-4 Edmonton. Shot 17-14 in favor of the home squad as you're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Tonight is the first of 3 straight road games for the Bandits. After tonight's game, they'll play on Sunday at Minnesota, a 2 p.m. Eastern start. Watch the game live right here on the Lacrosse Network. The Bandits' next home game is Saturday, April 5th against the Calgary Roughnecks. Game time, 7 p.m. For tickets, visit bandits.com.
Interesting note, the Edmonton Rush come in 10-0. They've defeated every team. Buffalo's the only team they have yet to play, so they'll either continue to remain undefeated against the league, or the Bandits will be the first team, the only team, to beat them. The Rush are 6-0 against the West and 4-0 against the East thus far. Bandits come in on a 3-game winning streak, Kevin, where their defense has really locked things down defensively, giving up only 25 goals in their last 3 games. Victories over Philly, Minnesota, and Colorado. They've had a home-heavy schedule early. Tonight is the first of 6 of their next 8 games on the road. They got a 3-game road trip, then they're at home against Calgary, then a 3-game road trip, and they finish up the regular season at home against Rochester. So the Bandits have definitely taken care of business at home this year. They are perfect, 6-0. Being 2-0 on the road, and they'll have to continue that trend to get first place in the East, as them and Rochester are battling for a home floor advantage. Conway, we're back in play to Matthews. Matthews back to Conway. They've combined for 7 points so far tonight. Greer hammered down hard by Smith. Matthews back to Conway. 6 seconds in the shot clock to Greer. Greer, and he'll just bounce one from far. And a lot of these Buffalo players, Kevin, I'm very impressed by their ability to play as good in the offensive zone as they do in the defensive zone.
Dane Smith showing it right there. A pure offensive player, but getting it done defensively. Great hands and footwork to stay on Mark Matthews and have him just throw it away.
Williams pass intercepted, and they got Dilks looking ahead to Corbeil. He won't force the pass. And now they got Sorgetti coming on the floor. 4-on-2. Dilks to Sorgetti, a backhander, and he put it wide of the net. He's got his first NLL goal, and he was going for a little razzle-dazzle there. He missed it. Davis to Matthews. Matthews with some speed, firing, and he ripped it off the goal post. That's the 3rd bar tonight for Matthews as he shakes his head.
It's sure been Buffalo's best for him tonight.
So Bold bounce pass ahead to Greer. Greer fakes, looking for Sorgetti. He'll set a pick. Matthews in the corner, little swim move. Waits, dumps it. Sorgetti was well in the crease. Oh, geez, no Rush got away with one there. Little reset. I thought Sorgetti was easily in the crease. Home break by the Rush. Here's Conway. That's a penalty against Culp. They're going to give him the tripping call. As Knight touches it over and back. And Culp will sit for 2. The Rush will go back on the man advantage, where they have been very good tonight. 3 for 4 so far.
And you see Brock limping off right now. Before the game, you mentioned Sorgetti. Keep my eye on him because he sets big, hard picks, and I think he got away with a doozy. He absolutely blew up Brock, and he got up limping pretty soon after that, looking to the ref for a call. So a very unique aspect to his game he brings to this Rush offense.
Oh, Conway. Back to Matthews. Now low Knight. Couldn't control that hard pass. Now Sutton's stick handling it, kicked it ahead. Conway shovels it to the loose area, and it's rolling, and Greer has it. Tried to pick it up in one motion. Ball's loose. Greer battling against 3 defenders. Now Priolo picks it up for Buffalo. Priolo has a shorthanded goal so far tonight. Just waiting. And I didn't think he got across center either. Wow, strange play by Priolo not to get across center when he was that close.
Well, Priolo, I mean, he obviously knew how much time was left in that clock and how much time he had to get over, because as soon as he crosses that line, there was 2 Rush defenders waiting for him to cross. Once you go over, you can't go back or it's a turnover. So very smart to hold his ground and not step over, but it cost him 1 second too late.
And another big stop by Cosmo. Faced 20 shots so far. Stainhouse, Smith, Tavares, and Banesh. Very dangerous man down here by the Bandits. 9 seconds to go in the shot clock. 40 seconds in the man advantage. Banesh on Rubish. Banesh fights him off. Banesh, and he can't get the shot away. Lost the ball just as he's about to shoot it. And Lintz takes a hit from Banesh as he headmans it off the bench. Here comes Matthews. Matthews back, wide open. Church on the crease. Shooting, scores! What a hesitation move by Curtis Knight in the air. Pump faked it and got Cosmo leaning. Put it short side for their 4th power play goal and a 6-4 lead.
Not your typical power play goal. Really fast break, broken play. What a finish by Curtis Knight. Left all alone, 2 quick passes by the Edmonton Rush. Curtis Knight gets it down on the crease. Good hard fake hesitation. Brings it back short side over the shoulder to Cosmo, who is leaning away to take the lead by 2.
Buffalo controls it again. Thornburg came in second best face-off percentage, 57.7 in the league, and he's shown why. Although Thompson was 4th with 55%, but so far Thornburg's had the advantage. Stainhouse. They dump it back to Wilson. On the right side, 9 seconds in the shot clock. Williams, the green string. Now pass in tight. Stainhouse hounded. He's able to get it back to Wilson, and he can't get the shot away. And it'll be Rush possession when we return. 4:40 remaining. The Bandits with only 14 shots on goal thus far, but they got 4 goals. They trail 6-4 on the Lacrosse Network. You're watching the NLL.
You can watch any NLL game from earlier this season on demand, thanks to the Lacrosse Network. Just go to NLL.com and click on Schedule from the main menu bar. Scroll down to the game you like to watch and click Replay. It's any game, anytime from NLL.com and the Lacrosse Network.
Not sure if you just saw the video they showed here revolving around Braver Than Brave for young Tucker Williams. I know, Kevin, you know Sean quite well, and this is a tough situation. You're a father of 2, I'm a father of 1, and I can only imagine how tough that has been on their family and how brave young Tucker's been. So we wish him a speedy recovery, and for the entire lacrosse community, a huge congratulations how they have really rallied around the Williams family. It's fantastic.
The lacrosse community has a way of coming together and helping one in need, and I couldn't imagine, again, being a father, not just emotionally, but again, not that it really matters at that time, but the financial strain, and that's what everyone's doing, is trying to, open their wallets and help out by getting some t-shirts, donating gas cards, helping out wherever they can to help the Williams. Such great people. Sean Williams, one of the greatest guys ever, and help them in this need and get through this tough time.
And Curtis Knight, dipsy doodling, dancing through the middle, gets his third of the game, and the Rush leads 7-4.
And Curtis Knight doing it all tonight, this time just taking it himself, going through the middle, beating his guy, and throwing it over the shoulder of a sprawling Anthony Cosmo.
Well, there's so much talk about Mark Matthews, as there should be, but Curtis Knight, also a very high draft pick in 2013, and he has been, 2012, excuse me, and he has been a fantastic addition to the Rush, his 22nd of the season. And there's a big pass out to center, Rubish stripping the ball, and he didn't get it across in the 8-second time limit, and the Rush now really attacking. Come back with a 3-on-2 to the net. Sharp angle shot by Billick, low percentage. And now he strips him. Billick, great recoveries, walking in on the crease, another shot. What an effort by Billick. He just turned around and stripped it from Glenn Bryan. And back comes Big Dane Smith. Smith to Tavares. Bandits, Smith spins off shot, deflected, and it ricochets, and here's Cornwall. He'll run the floor. Cornwall, look at the speed as he's racing in all alone. Shooting, scores! Jeff Cornwall puts on the Jets, and the Rush lead 8-4.
Jeff Cornwall, track star, puts on the Jets, outrunning the Buffalo offensive player trying to get back and match feet, but Jeff Cornwall was just way too fast. Anthony Cosmo didn't even move, was frozen in his tracks, and Cornwall, quick shot far side, ball goes in and out for Edmonton Rush, 8th goal of the game.
And for Cornwall, that's his third of the season. And Priolo, I think a very veteran move here by Priolo with the cramp, so you don't have to waste the timeout, as the Rush have scored 3 goals in a minute and 39 seconds.
Yeah, veteran move, that's right. I mean, you don't want to waste a timeout. Essentially, it is a free timeout, and it just stops that momentum. Edmonton Rush with 2 quick ones back to back. You want to do whatever you can to, keep the Edmonton squad from building on that, or any team for that matter. And it'll be interesting. Big face-off here. Thompson's going to want to win this and keep this ball going and keep the pressure on and keep this momentum rolling.
And now Aaron Bowles going to need some attended. His equipment looks like he's got a broken strap on his left pad. So coming into this game, we mentioned the Edmonton Rush averaging a league low 42 shots against. They've allowed 14 thus far, with 3:28 to go in the first half.
That's phenomenal. And so much is made of goals against average and save percentage by Aaron Bold. Save percentage is one that speaks volumes of just his play, but goals against average, that speaks for the whole defense. And again, the system's in place, everyone's buying in, and this defense is rock solid. They are for real.
Over and back against the Rush. It'll be picked up by the road team, the Bandits. Resetaritz, who gave Buffalo an early lead earlier in the game. At that point, it was 3-1.
That's a nice shot. What's he got?
Benesh didn't like that. He thought it should have been a call, and it will be Rush ball. LaFontaine tonight. 3 goals tonight for Knight. To Sorgetti, who has his first NLL goal. Now low to Matthews. Flip pass to Greer, and he juggled it. And then Brock pushes him to the floor. Brock comes up with it. It's a nice little float pass, and Greer just couldn't handle it. Back comes Big Dane Smith. Off the bench, Resetaritz. Williams comes late. He'll take it. Over to Tavares, who has 3 assists tonight. In front, Resetaritz spinning in one motion, makes the shot. Stopped by Bold. And Cornwall handles the rebound. Headmans it to Davis. Mitski stays on the floor. Oh, now he'll roll off to Conway. 5-point night so far for him. Matthews on the right side through a screen, fires off the goal post again. And Davis couldn't handle it. That won't be over and back. And Bold will come out, reset the clock, and he'll bounce past it ahead to Knight. And Mark Matthews from this side, Kevin, looks to that far side. And now Cosmo will tell you that's all he's given him because it's rang off that post 3 times tonight. Now Sorgetti from a sharp angle scores! Adrian Sorgetti bounces one by Cosmo. And the Rush lead 9-4.
And so Sorgetti doing a great, his best John Tavares impression. He's got 2 on the night, his first 2 NLL goals, and was able to squeeze that by Cosmo, not able to close the 5-hole in time. Edmonton Rush rolling right now with their 7th goal of the quarter.
Off the draw, ball's loose. A maze of players battling for it. They're going to have a loose ball push, and they're going to give it to Edmonton. Now Greer, quick sticks, and stopped by Cosmo. And back come the Bandits. Smith, easy to pick out with those high orange socks that he wears. Benesh sings it across to Wilson. Wilson shot, that one off the defender, off the boards. Now they battle for it, and Corbeil juggling it, and now he's able to get control. And he'll trot across center. Corbeil to Conway. Conway down low, Davis wide open, spinning, and Cosmo makes the stop. Cosmo right now keeping his team in it. Culp quickly turns on the Jets down the right side. Culp coming in around LaFontaine. Hits Rubish, can't get the shot away. Rolls into the corner. And now Lintz over the top of Culp. Wow. He's going to whistle Culp. I'm not sure what that call was, Kevin. I know the Culp went down. I didn't see the signal from the official.
Well, he's doing a lot of talking right now and not and no signal, so we don't exactly know what the call was. Made a timeout. I'd say timeout Edmonton. Of course, they get the last.
Well, there's 32 seconds on the shot clock, so on the score clock, excuse me. So it won't be the final possession, but the Rush are going to look to try to get 10 goals. Now, how's this? The Buffalo Bandits have only allowed more than 10 goals twice all season long. The Rush have 9 with 32 seconds to go in the first half. I did not expect that.
No, but things can change in a hurry. Anthony Cosmo, one of the better goalies in the NLL, and this Buffalo defense is definitely capable of shutting the door. So they could close it down, and Edmonton Rush could hit a wall here and really just stop. I mean, it's a game, numbers game, and averages say it should be right around 10, but the way this Rush offense is rolling, they're on pace to put up a pretty big number here.
So the Rush will go, looks like, with the extra attacker.
As I've just been reminded by the stats,
Matthews.
Like we're into our 50s and
Greer.
60s every game.
Sorgetti.
Now we're sitting at 29.
Knight.
So with 30 seconds left in this
Church
quarter,
and Conway.
how about we make some noise
There is
for the boys? What do you say?
2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so the Rush have to be a little bit careful here in case Buffalo gets it. They would have the empty net to shoot at. We'll see if Edmonton maybe leaves the guy to the floor late in the set, and now they will. And Bold will go back in. We'll play 5-on-5 as the clock's down to 8 seconds on the shot clock. Church with Brian on him. Down low, looking in the middle. Knight waiting, and he'll just dump it into the corner, and the Rush won't force it. And now the Bandits just sing along one, and Bold catches it, and that will end the first half. Was very tight through the first 18 minutes. Buffalo made it 4-4 3 minutes into the second quarter, but then the Edmonton Rush scored 5 unanswered goals. Davis, Knight, Cornwall, and Sorgetti to make this a 9-4 Edmonton lead. Shots 29-16 in favor of the home team. And the Rush power play also very deadly, 4 for 5.
Well, this Edmonton Rush team they just keep rolling. Their defense remains rock solid, and their offense, they just keep putting the numbers up. Of course, Riley Lowen out, but there's so many other bodies that are just contributing. Corey Conway's coming out of nowhere the last 3 or 4 games just to become a real offensive leader or a real depth chip on this Edmonton Rush offense. And Curtis Knight getting it done as well that half, putting up 3 goals. And of course, Mark Matthews always present when they put up 4 power play goals, doing some damage as well. Sorgetti, his 2 first NLL goals, doing a great job contributing and just showing the depth of this Edmonton Rush offense. For Buffalo, we have not mentioned too much of Tavares. He was all over the place in the first quarter. Chad Cope, very noticeable out there, getting the job done. As far as some of the other names,
Ryan Benesh and Stainhouse, the 2 leading scorers, have been held pointless for Buffalo in the first half, and obviously they will be looking for a much better second half performance. A 5-goal lead in lacrosse, as we all know, is not safe, and we will see what the second half presents when we return live at Rexall Place in Edmonton. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. After 30 minutes, the Rush lead the Bandits 9-4.
Welcome to NLL Halftime. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Walls of the Lacrosse Network. We'll get you back to your game in just a few minutes. But right now, let's take a quick look at the leaders and standings as we head into this week's action. Week 13 of the 2014 NLL season. Our featured game this week in Week 12 was the Toronto Rock heading to the Xcel Energy Center to face the Minnesota Swarm in a crucial Eastern Division matchup. Toronto went on a 5-0 run in the first quarter. Toronto seemed to be in full control, leading 7-4 at the half. However, Minnesota would close out the game with a 4-0 run that got the Crazies going at the Xcel Energy Center as we were tied 8-8 going into overtime. It would prove to be too little too late, however, as Colin Doyle scores at a minute 34 into overtime, and the Rock hang on to defeat the feisty Swarm 9-8. Elsewhere in the NLL in Week 12, we had the Rochester Nighthawks defeating the Toronto Rock up at Air Canada Center by a score of 17-12. Toronto led at halftime, but Rochester's second half 12-3 run helped cap off the game for the K-Hawks. Also, Buffalo defeated the Colorado Mammoth on their home floor, keeping their lead in the Eastern Division by a final score of 12-9. The Edmonton Rush moved to 10-0, and they clinched the first playoff spot in the 2014 season as they win the Battle of Alberta against the Calgary Roughnecks 15-7. Finally, the Rochester Nighthawks completed their weekend sweep, defeating the Philadelphia Wings at the Wells Fargo Center 11-7. So what does this mean for the NLL standings heading into this week? Well, let's take a look. First in the NLL Eastern Division, the Buffalo Bandits find themselves in a tie for first place of Rochester. Buffalo sits at 8-2 with 2 games this weekend, Friday night against the undefeated Edmonton Rush and Sunday at the Minnesota Swarm. Rochester, however, takes the weekend off, settling for a tie right now in first place with a record of 9-3. Toronto has a record of 5-7, but sits comfortably in third place in that last playoff spot in the East with a crucial division matchup against the Wings on Saturday. Speaking of the Philadelphia Wings, they sit with a record of 3-9 and currently on the outside looking in, 6 games back of first, with only the Minnesota Swarm sitting behind them with a record of 2-9. As we move into the NLL Western Division, it's the aforementioned Edmonton Rush sitting alone on top of the NLL and the Western Division. With that perfect 10-0 record, they host the first place Buffalo Bandits in a division versus division matchup on Friday night out at the First Niagara Center. The Calgary Roughnecks sit in second place with a record of 6-5, 4.5 games back of the Rush, with a game against the Vancouver Stealth on Friday. Colorado sits in third place with the weekend off with a record of 5-8, and if the Vancouver Stealth don't win against Calgary on Friday night, their 3-8 record could turn into 3-9, and it could mean an early summertime for Vancouver lacrosse fans. That does it for NLL Halftime. Thanks for watching. Make sure to join the conversation on Twitter and let everyone know how your team is doing. We'll get you back to your game in just a moment. This is the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Underway, and there you go. Rochester Nighthawks. Piece of equipment falls off of his shoe. Jameson, let's go to Jameson. There you go.
Top to the Rally moves in, shoots and scores! Kevin Grant left-handed. Here's Capito, scores!
And that's absolutely not what you really wanted to happen.
Dan Dawson rolling in the slot behind the back pass to Point. Already with 2 goals on the day and making the hat trick for the score. Bounce shot from outside. Greg Point.
They've got a great mix of, the Dan Dawsons and the Coach Jamesons and the Joe Walters.
Man, not normal.
Kellen Crawford trying to drive to the front. Frees up some space, goes right to the goal and scores! Kirk screws it in! By Dinsdale to win the faceoff against an always tough Thompson. Now a breakaway up, he scores! Anderson the cutter right out front. They score. Toronto has won it in overtime, 9-8.
He whips over to Dane Smith. Smith right over to Darris. He scores!
Behind the back, it's Logan Schuss putting Minnesota on the board. Oh, a beauty from Schuss.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Evans flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon into the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary.
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
The half, Rexall Place in Edmonton. I'm Jason Gregor, along with former National Lacrosse League player Kevin the Suitcase Howard. The Rush leading the Bandits 9-4 after 30 minutes, outshooting the Bandits 29-15. They outshot Buffalo 17-5 in the second quarter and outscored them 7-1. Buffalo led after 50 minutes, 3-2. On goals by Aaron Wilson, Steve Priolo, his 7th of the season, a shorthanded marker, and Joe Resetarits. Chad Culp had the only goal of the fourth quarter for Buffalo. Meanwhile, the Rush have 3 goals from Knight. They have a pair from rookie Aaron Sorgetti, his first 2 goals in the National Lacrosse League, and singles from Church, Matthews, and Cornwall. And Jared Davis as well. Corey Conway leading the way with 5 assists, Kevin, for the Edmonton Rush. But Curtis Knight, 3 goals and assists, and also leading both teams with 7 loose balls.
Yeah, doing a great job. This Edmonton Rush team, there's a little bit of urgency, which is nice to see for once. This year, it's just a totally different attitude. Zach Greer has always been so great at going after those loose balls, which is really why he's on the power play on the crease, because when that loose ball, when it goes off the goalie, goes in the corner, he's like a hawk to go get that. And you know what? Everyone's just buying into what the coaches are trying to say. Makes coaches' life a lot easier when you have attentive players that really just buy into the system and you have success.
Buffalo, meanwhile, they did change an assist. Banesh ended up with an assist on the first goal, so he does have a point. John Tavares ends up with 2. He now has 1,701 in his career. He is 3 goals shy of 800 career goals. And if you look at Buffalo's offense, Kevin, Ryan Banesh and Mark Stainhouse, those are the 2 guys. John Tavares, of course, was 3rd in offense. But those 2 specifically, we did not see a lot from. What? Too much standing still. Steinhaus is one of the most athletic guys in the league. We didn't see him showing his athleticism very much in the first half.
Well, Steinhaus Stainhouse is so quick, and he hasn't really had an opportunity to showcase his skills. He is the leading goal scorer on this Buffalo team with 23 coming into this contest, and that's what makes him so effective is his real quick first step, and we haven't seen him handle the ball too much. They've been moving the ball around a lot around the outside, and he hasn't had a chance to really go and attack. This Buffalo offense needs to be a little bit concerned if they can't get Banesh and Stainhouse going. Aaron Wilson did bury that one, the first goal of the game. John Tavares has showed up at times, but really has just disappeared. So I don't know if it's really the Buffalo offense struggling or if it's the defense of this Edmonton squad is that good. And I think it's maybe a combination of the two. And when the Edmonton Rush defense has a little bit of a letdown, Aaron Bold has been equal to the task, stopping 11 of the 15 shots by the Bandits, which is a very small number. So, I mean, maybe that makes me lean a little bit towards this Edmonton Rush defense of just being that solid tonight and keeping to their system.
Well, they came in allowing 8 goals a game, and they're right on pace for that. Buffalo, on the other hand, has come in allowing basically just under 10 goals per game. Philadelphia is the only team, they've done it twice, to score more than 10 goals against Buffalo. 9.5, that's obviously a season high for them. No, I didn't really expect that tonight. Derek Keenan thought this was going to be one of those 9-8, 8-7 type of back and forth games, and Buffalo does have the offense capabilities to come back, but it's going to be interesting. They're really going to have to try to push the pace even more in transition.
Well, and it starts with face-off. Jeremy Thompson's done a great job of getting possession. Possession is everything in this game, but really that second quarter, the floodgates open for this Edmonton Rush offense. They put up 7 goals in that second quarter, outscoring Buffalo 7-1. So really that is the difference. We look like we were in for a real tight battle. Buffalo was leading 3-2 after that first quarter, and something just changed.
That is the third time tonight now that right off the face-off, and Thornburg doesn't agree with it, but early movement, and it will be Rush with the first possession of the second half. They go from our broadcast right to left. Sorgetti to Greer. To Conway. Tonight, and look at how quickly Buffalo is going to be aggressive out high at the line. Greer now waiting for a pick, long shot, and Cosmo kicks it out. Rebound controlled by Suttons. He'll shovel it up to Smith. Dane, that is. He'll lope down the left side. Coming in on Dilks. Trying to get a pick and roll. They get it to Resetaris. Diving, and Bold makes it in. And another stop as he robbed Banesh right on the doorstep. Back-to-back stops by Bold. And the Rush. And they only credited one shot, but that was clearly 2 as he robbed Banesh. Now defender falls. Greer has a lane, and he ripped it over top of the net again. As Priolo just lost his balance. Allowed Greer a lane, but he missed the net. Priolo now picks it up. And he'll run quickly right up the middle of the floor. Dump it off to Tavares. Tavares and Rubish strips them. And it's picked up by Corbeil. And there's Kyle Rubish, who leads the league in forced turnovers with 28 now. 3-on-1. LaFontaine to Conway. Back to LaFontaine, and it's off his stick and out of play. Fast pace, and I think that's what we're going to see. I think Buffalo's really going to try to push the pace, and Edmonton's not afraid to run either, so expect a lot of end-to-end action. Dane Smith coming down the left side. Banesh gets it now in front. Quick shot. Bold makes the save. Rebound controlled by Corbeil. He'll circle behind the net. Headman it to Lintz up the right side. John Lintz, no shots on goal so far this season. Him and Rubish, the only 2 runners who don't have a goal this year for the Rush.
John Lintz, a pure defender. He knows his role very well. Crosses center and really just looks for support to dish it off and get an offensive stick. Someone who's a little easier or more comfortable with the ball, and he runs off hard if you ever watch him sprint to the bench.
Now Conway's pass. Low. Away from the play, you had Church and Billy D. Smith engaged in a pretty good battle away from the play. And quickly turning on the Jets. Wilson stops, dumps it off. Banesh stopped right on the doorstep by Bold. Banesh has had 2 great chances early in this half. And Cornwall runs away down the right side. Into Rory Smith. Now he'll spin back to Greer. 2.5 minutes gone, third quarter, 9-4 Edmonton. Greer by himself, waits for Matthews. Matthews. Pass to Davis. Not very hard. Now Davis. Back high. Sorgetti. Sorgetti, a long shot and kicked out by Cosmo. And that'll go all the way down the floor. Bold out of his net. He'll pick it up. Bounce back to Matthews. And they'll reset. Now Knight comes on as the Rush make a change. To Church. Church sings it across to Matthews. Conway short side shot stop. Conway boxes out. Battling up against Braunwald to get that ball. Now it's picked up by Knight. Scores! Curtis Knight! What a dip and dunk fake over a diving Cosmo. And now we've got a little pushing and shoving away from the play. Matthews and Suttons, I think it is. And we got the challenge flag. Thrown up by Troy Cordingley.
We call that flag du challenge. So what happens here, ladies?
Well, great awareness by Curtis Knight to pick up that loose ball. This Buffalo Bandits defense has got to be incredibly tired. That was the third shot on net. Corey Conway was unable to corral it. Very loose ball bouncing around in the corner. Cosmo should have maybe had that loose ball. Scoop missed it, and the loosey came right to Curtis Knight, who picked it up and still managed to throw one or two good hard fakes and just buried it in the open net. And I didn't see if Curtis Knight's feet were in the crease or not, but we're going to go under the hood here and have a closer look.
Oh, here's the replay. Well, did it go in? I think it's. I'm not sure. I think that was Cosmo's stick that went in the net, but did the ball go in the net? See if we get a better angle here.
See Knight.
His feet are fine. I'm not sure that ball went in the net, Kevin. I'm not sure it's his feet. I think it might be the ball. Like Cosmo, with his back to the play, got his stick up. And if that's a non-goal, that's going to be one of the best saves of the year.
Well, this might be the best look we're going to get at it.
Is the
Cosmo
ball in?
Totally beat his stick in.
No, see, I don't think the ball's in.
I don't think so either.
Think it is. I think that's a no goal.
His stick is in the net, but it looks like it goes off the throat.
Now at the shaft of his stick, which now, can we tell if that was across the line? I'm going to say that's no goal. We're looking at it numerous times.
You get a real good look on the try-line disposal recycle play. Here you see Cosmo totally beat reaching back. And yeah, that ball does not cross the line.
That's a
I think
smart challenge. That replay right there shows it's pretty clear, no goal. Yes, indeed, that's the right call. So a good challenge by Troy Cordingley. And Cordingley away from the play. Mark Matthews and Rory Smith each got coincidental roughing penalties.
That referee saw it, that made him say no goal.
So we'll play 5-on-5.
Good call.
Bandits down 9-4, 11.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard. Williams to Stainhouse, pass misses everyone. Into the corner, the captain, Tavares gets it. Mitski throws him to the floor. Ball's loose. And we're going to have a loose ball push against Mitski on Benesh. And now I think we're going to have a penalty. I think Rubish is going to get the penalty because he hit the ball when the whistle went.
Delay a game. The league has really become more strict on this to quicken the speed or the pace of play. As soon as the ball is turned over, there's a whistle. You have to put the ball down.
Yeah.
And look, Rubish just kicked it away and, exactly that, delayed the game.
Interesting there because they would have had to move the ball across the floor to reset it, but they're pretty strict on that rule. Benesh working around the outside. Stainhouse back to Benesh. Across the floor, Dane Smith cradling it up high. Benesh shot, bold, out to challenge, makes the save, and he'll hold on. And now he'll float it ahead. Now here's Mitski in stride, gets it on one bounce. Mitski with Retzeteritz on him, dumps it back to Greer. And Corbeil and Dane Smith are going to stay behind the play, so it's basically going to be a 3-on-4. Greer working on Priolo. Greer now long shot. Cosmo easy stop. Gets the big fishing paddle out. And back come the Bandits. The minute 7 to go on the power play. Benesh, Williams, Dane Smith staying out. And now Wilson will come in. Opened up the scoring for Buffalo earlier tonight. Benesh. Stainhouse. Benesh. Down low Williams. To Benesh. They work it around the outside. Now a shot. Bold makes a stop. Dane Smith grabs the rebound. 43 seconds to go on the man advantage. Dane Smith in tight. Bold has it. And John LaFontaine able to come in and scoop it up before it crosses the line as Corbeil takes it to center. To Church. Scored his 11th goal of the season earlier tonight. To Greer. Greer in the middle. Look to go. Now he'll hesitate. 5 seconds in the shot clock. Greer looking. Sharp angle shot, and he put it wide, and that bounces out of play. And there is 7 seconds to go in the power play. But we will take a TV timeout. 9:25 to go in the third quarter. It is 9-4 Edmonton. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
NLL Radio offers the best online radio coverage of the National Lacrosse League. Listen on your smartphone. Just download the popular TuneIn radio app and find NLL Radio. Hear the latest episode of every show anytime on your phone. For more information, visit nll.com/radio.
Jason Gregor with Kevin Howard. 9:25 remaining in the third quarter. Edmonton leading 9-4, out shooting the Bandits by a total of 36-20. 7 seconds remaining now on the man advantage. Buffalo will come in quickly with Wilson, Williams, Tavares, Benesh, and Stainhouse. Rubish will come right out of the box onto the floor as Dilks, Cornwall, Mitski, and Corbeil will defend. The Edmonton Rush were hoping for a little bit better of a crowd tonight. The Edmonton Rush, if they can hold on to this lead, Kevin, they'll become the first pro team in Edmonton history, with all the vaunted Oilers and Eskimo seasons, to ever win 11 consecutive games at any point in one season. That's a pretty good accomplishment for the Rush. After many years of losing, it'll also be a franchise record 11 wins in a season, and would secure them their first ever home playoff date. As a pass off of Dilk's pocket and picked up by Corbeil, and the Bandits are 0 for 3 on the power play. Corbeil down the right side to Dilks. They'll leave it for Greer. Conway comes on late. Matthews out of the box after serving that coincidental penalty. Davis through the middle of the floor. Dumps it off. Matthews got a lane. Firing! Stopped by Cosmo, then the rebound bounces through his legs, and Priolo scoops it up. Errant pass, nice reception off the boards by Bronwell. Down low, Priolo, waiting, hesitation, doesn't shoot it, just cradles it. Back to Priolo, Lintz on his stick, jarred loose, now it's kicked into the corner, and Aaron Bold, he'll battle with it in behind the net. Bold up against Resiteritz, and Bold wins that battle. Leaves it for Billick, who was acquired with Robert Church, who they use as a 5th pick for the 4th pick in the draft, and that's been a heck of a trade for the Rush. Billick's been a big addition for them emotionally, physically, and speed-wise. Here's Knight. Dumping it, switching hands was Church as he got over on his wrong side. Shot stopped by Cosmo, goes out of play, and the Rush will get a new 30-second clock.
These long sets have to be very taxing on this Buffalo D. They're getting these offensive rebounds and just taking it for full minute shifts for this Buffalo team. It's got to be wearing on them defensively.
Matthews took the long shot, stopped easily, and back comes Smith. Stainhouse, near side Williams. Williams, pass, and he's rocked to the floor, but it bounces loose. Benesh running through the crease. That'll be a violation, and quickly Edmonton turns it up to Cornwall with Conway and Greer. Church, Davis, and Matthews will come on late. Greer by himself. Church waiting in the neutral zone. Now he'll come in. Conway fighting off Priolo. Conway dumps it off behind Church. Davis, sharp angle, Matthews, and he tried to quick stick it. Couldn't get all of it. And Buffalo pushes it up the floor quickly. Up on the far side. Brownell coming to the crease, a shot. Stopped by Bold. Rebound. And Thompson just falls on it. And they headman it. And here comes Lintz. Lintz across the line. Lintz dumps into the crease to Knight. Knight walks the tightrope, doesn't shoot it. Knight to Conway. Scores! No goal. And the refs are going to blow it off for a coincidental rough in front of the net. Wow. Aaron Sorgetti had his hat trick taken away on a strange coincidental roughing call. Benesh and Knight, two guys who don't rarely sit in the penalty box.
Again, I can't agree with that call. When two guys are battling in front, you do not blow the whistle, and especially blow off a goal, because two guys were just fighting hard, jockeying for position in front of the net. Terrible call by the referee, and it costs the Edmonton Rush their 10th goal of the game, but they do get possession back and taking it back to the Buffalo defense.
A little give and go. Church firing, and he ripped that one wide on the far side, and now Conway, he'll go back just to protect the ball in case Buffalo tries a quick break. No, now he'll go to the bench. Cornwall, Mitski, Rubish, Thompson, and LaFontaine come out as Resetaritz, Stainhouse, Dane Smith pass it around. Williams and Mitski battling hard away on the opposite side of the floor. Stainhouse back pass to Smith, to Tavares outside the line. Williams, Smith, big body, circles across to Tavares. Now in front, wide open and pushing it wide. Oh, Bull just got a piece of it. Now Thompson away from Smith. Thompson, nice little swim move across the line, and he won't push it. Thompson very good at controlling the ball, very good speed. Eric Keenan says he thinks he's the best athlete they have on the team. Greer working down on Thornburg. Priolo comes in. Nice switch by the Bandits. Near side, Davis. Davis working on Culp, 3 seconds. And he'll just drop it. Good defensive set there by the Bandits. We have no goals so far in this third quarter. We played almost 10 minutes. Defense is locking down. Now in front, Wilson, a soft bouncer. Stopped easily by Bold as Corbeil floats it ahead to Rubish. Matthews and Sorgetti, and the rookies had a very strong game, trying to stay in the lineup. Matthews sings it across to Conway. Back up high, Greer. Greer one-handed to Sorgetti, fakes the shot to Matthews. 8 seconds in the shot clock. Matthews pass to Conway. A little fancy, and that's knocked down by Suddens, and he'll float it out to center. Dane Smith on Cornwall. Late man coming on is Williams on the far side. Dane Smith now dumps it back. Priolo shot misses wide on the short side. And then Cornwall able to absorb both hits, and he'll run the floor. The Rush got a 3-on-1. Cornwall down the right side. Shooting! Stopped by Cosmo. Cornwall looking for his second of the night. Aaron Wilson spent a season with the Rush. 2 of them, in fact. Back to Stainhouse, to Wilson. Longtime member of the Rock, to Williams. Shot wide on the short side. And that one will bounce to center. It's a race, Dilks and Wilson, and that bounces out of play. And when we return, it will be Rush possession. They still lead 9-4 with 3:54 to go in a scoreless third quarter. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Evans flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon into the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary.
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
The best way to enjoy the great moments of the NLL weekend is to catch the top 10 plays exclusively from the Lacrosse Network every Wednesday following the weekend's action. Visit youtube.com/TLN to see if your favorite play made the cut. If you see a play that's top 10 worthy, tweet about it at the Lacrosse Network. That's at Lacrosse Network, and include hashtag NLL Top 10.
There's Davis ripping one off the goalpost right out of the timeout. Cosmo picks it up, long bomb pass right in the pocket of Thornbird in stride. He'll slow up, flip it back. Resetarits coming off the bench now. Williams back in front, wide open. Resetarits, and Bold sticks White with him and makes the save. And Aaron Bold has looked very solid thus far in the third quarter. Both goaltenders have not allowed a goal. Now Benesh had put it in play, but the ref's going to make him do it again. So Benesh will get it. Back at Tavares. Stainhouse still pointless tonight. Stainhouse, Mitski on Stainhouse. Through the defense, coming and shooting, and Bold kicks it out. Williams gets the rebound. Back to Resetarits. Good movement here by the Bandits. Benesh fakes it, and Tavares missed the pass. Then he's taken down by Rubish. And they'll headman it to Dilks, and he'll cross center. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, 9-4 Edmonton. Corey Conway had 5 points in the first half, and like everybody, pointless in the second half. Matthews, Conway, wide open in front, Greer scores! Zach Greer on a nifty pass from Conway, and the Rush have double digits.
Great backdoor play, good high pick up by the restraining line, and it just became a foot race for Zach Greer. Good vision for Corey Conway, and he's got that ability to thread that needle. His 6th assist on the night puts it down, and the Rush are back on the board. The first goal of this third quarter, 2:32 to play.
And the Bandits control it. Stainhouse to Benesh, long shot, just wide. Benesh gets it back again. Another shot, missed the net. Corbeil grabs the rebound, dumps it to LaFontaine. He'll zing it ahead, and Cornwall, nice reception with one hand. Cornwall to the rookie Sorgetti. Back to Matthews. Matthews, nice swim move, drops the ball, gets it back. Matthews down low. Conway, 5 seconds in the shot clock. Conway gonna go to the net. No, and he just lets it go just as the shot clock expires. And the Bandits coming back looking for a goal this quarter. Dane Smith weaving in, Bold kicks it out, rebounds high, and Rubish has it, and the Rush got a 3-on-1, 4-on-1 now. Mitski in all alone, shooting, stop. Rebound picked up by Davis. And Cosmo has been huge for Buffalo in this third quarter to keep it a 6-goal game. Dilks. And he's jarred loose of the ball by Stainhouse. Stainhouse across the line. Being hounded, he just controls that ball. Very hard to get him away. Now Corbeil does jar it loose. And nope, they're going to say loose ball push. I'm not sure what the call was.
He was calling Stainhouse basically dragged to the floor even after he lost possession. You can see he is getting quite frustrated trying to create some of his own offense by maybe doing a little too much now.
There's a bounce shot missing the net. But they get it right back. That was Resetarits to Benesh. 7 seconds in the shot clock. Benesh, Corbeil right on him. A nice switch as Dilks come over and just throws him to the floor. Excellent recovery by the Rush defenders as they continue to give up nothing. There's Cornwall to Greer. to Conway, and they just throw it around the neutral zone. Shot clock at 15, score clock at 18. Matthews and Greer on the right side. Down to 7 seconds. Greer quickly across, and we're going to have a moving pick against the rush. So the Bandits with 7 seconds will go with the extra attacker and try to get a shot. Down to 3 seconds. They're going to have to hurry, and there's a long one, and Bold steers it to the corner. A scoreless third quarter for the Bandits. The Rush get only one, but they extend their lead to 6, 10-4 with 15 minutes to go. The Bandits are going to need a Herculean effort to stop the Rush 10-game win streak. Stick with us. Find out next what happens on the Lacrosse Network. You're watching the National Lacrosse League.
The next Edmonton Rush home game is on Saturday, April 5th, as the Rush host the Colorado Mammoth here at Rexall Place. Game time is 7 p.m. For tickets, visit edmontonrush.com. And as a reminder, this copyright telecast of the National Lacrosse League Incorporated may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the National Lacrosse League.
So the Bandits going from a broadcast right to left. Looking to, they'll need 6 shots, 42-28. Bandits had 13 shots in that third quarter after only having 15 in the first half, but Aaron Bold, very, very solid. Shots were 13 apiece. Thornbert and Thompson set to go. I'd say a disappointing lowest crowd of the season for the Edmonton Rush, who are 10-0. Quite surprising by the Edmonton fans, I have to say.
Not too sure. You know, this Edmonton Rush team is doing so well. It makes you wonder what Bruce Urban and his crew have to do. They've done such a great job of marketing and getting the word out in the city. Just, we need these citizens of Edmonton to jump on the bandwagon here and see what great lacrosse is all about.
Well, Buffalo, another control off the draw, and look for their offense to really push the pace now, down by 6. Stainhouse fighting off the defenders, and he's been blanketed all night. There's a shot wide on the far side, and LaFontaine picks it up, and here comes another break. 3-on-1 by the Rush. LaFontaine dumps it off, shooting. What a stop by Cosmo. Kicked out the left leg and robbed Nick Billick. And Cosmo, I think he stopped about 5 2 or 3-on-1s, and there's a shot off the goal post by Wilson. Clean off the post, comes back. Wilson has it again. Benesh to Wilson, sharp angle shot, stopped, and Corbeil will pick it up and he'll run the floor. With Matthews and Church coming out the front door. Corbeil, his first year as a captain, he's yet to lose as the captain of the Edmonton Rush. Mark Matthews to Sorgetti. Conway. Near side to Matthews. Matthews through the middle, firing up high. Cosmo makes the save. Rebound, bounces loose, and Dane Smith shovels it behind the net, and then it rolls harmlessly onto the back, and it's Bandits' ball. Triolo at center to Wilson. In front, shot. And stopped by Bold, and that one now it's a race. Cornwall, he'll pick it up. Just outside the Buffalo line. Back to Dilks. We got Rory Smith and Matthews battling hard again away from the play. Greer through the middle. Fakes the shot. Greer scores! Zach Greer fakes the shot, dips, dunks, and slides one home. His second straight, and it's a 7-goal lead.
Zach Greer setting up on the half boards right along the wall and beats his guy clean. Like a water bug, just cannot stand still, just dipsy doodling and weaving in and out of traffic and getting a good, clean hard shot away to beat Cosmo. 5-hole again for Rush. 11th goal of the game.
Off the draw, Thompson had bounced. He got it.
The assist number 91, Corey Conway, and to number 24, Ryan Fields. Time of that goal.
Matthews, and we're going to have a cross-checking penalty coming up against Buffalo. And Matthews, against the bench, dumps it to Mitski to Conway. Extra attacker on for Edmonton, the 10 seconds in the shot clock.
Looks like a power play coming up.
Here's Greer firing. Cosmo kicks it out. Church gets the rebound. So a new shot clock. It's extra attacker here for Edmonton. Greer to Church. Back to Greer. Over the shoulder shot. Missed the net. Conway gets it back. 13 seconds in the shot clock. Sorgetti now. We're going to have another penalty coming up to Buffalo. Slashing call. So they'll be down 2 men. Shooting stop. And the whistle goes. And we are going to have, I think, 2 penalties to Buffalo.
And it'll be interesting if the refs do call and catch both. Yeah, they do. They get the roughing.
Yeah.
Roughing call for Brownell.
And Culp, I think, is going to get the slashing call. So the Rush, who are already 4 for 5 on the power play, are going to go 2 minutes, 5-on-3. And it is tough to stop a 5-on-3 for any team in the NLL.
And of course, they'll have Rubish out there playing rover. He'll sit at center and really just to run back and forth and maybe catch any loose balls that go off the boards, that went wide off the boards, and really just be that safety net. But they will go 4-on-3.
Conway to Greer, back to Matthews. Matthews on the crease. Knight picks it off. Conway. Matthews firing. Stopped by Cosmo. Greer gets the rebound. Back to Matthews. Matthews, Greer on the crease. Scores! 3 straight for Greer, and it's 12-4.
Not much Anthony Cosmo could do on that one. Zach Greer, all the time in the world. He was left high and dry on an island. And Zach Greer, a good hard stomp fake. Seems to be working. Curtis Knight scored a couple beauties like that where Anthony Cosmo bites hard, falls away, and then just a dip over the shoulder where he just was, buries it. Power play goal for the Edmonton Rush.
Cosmo is down. Looks like he's going to get some tape done on his right foot. Out of town scoreboard tonight, Vancouver hosting Calgary. Tomorrow, Toronto is in Philly, and then Buffalo back in action against Minnesota Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock Eastern time. All games are right here on the Lacrosse Network. Be sure to check them out. And Calgary out to an early 3-0 lead 9 minutes into the first quarter in Vancouver.
Penalties was 3:15. Goal, Edmonton Rush goal, his 3rd goal.
So Greer with 3 straight. And off the draw, Thompson throws it forward. Priolo battling, and he's able to hold it off, and now Thornburg picks it up. Thornburg hounded, thrown to the turf by 3 Rush defenders as they just continue to be aggressive. Great the turnover. So now Knight. Knight, Church, Conway, Matthews, and Greer. I don't know if they'll go to the hot stick. Greer. Him and Knight each with 3 goals now. Matthews. Right in front, Church bounces it wide. He had a great look. Matthews gets it off the boards. 3 seconds in the shot clock. Another penalty coming up to Buffalo. And they are not going to like this. Slashing call.
You know, and Buffalo has been very active with their sticks. They haven't called it all game, but you know what? This Bandits team makes you pay. If you're going to stand in the middle, you're going to take some hacks and whacks. And you know what? That's kind of a signature of Troy Quarterly ball. It's very tough. He's old school lacrosse. And if you're going to stand there, you're going to pay the price. And it just seems the refs are now catching on to that and calling them. As you can see, 2 bodies in the Buffalo Bandit bench.
Well, Rush back on the man advantage. Church to Greer. Church down low. Knight waits. Matthews had to go off his pocket. Greer able to pick it up. Greer to Church. Greer, Knight. Pass went through his hands. Him and Suttons now battle for it. Ball still loose. And good job by Suttons to win that battle. Priolo picks it up. Priolo leading the league in points by defenseman with 19. Had a shorthanded goal earlier tonight. Bandits hold on to this ball and they'll be down to 5-on-4. Stainhouse doesn't shoot. Now right in tight. Dangling through and he was stripped of the ball, and here comes Billick. Billick and Church. And Billick will just pump it ahead. Now out of the box comes Culp, so it's a 5-on-4 for the Rush. They are now 5 for 7 on the power play. Church to Conway. Behind the back, Matthews. Missed that pass, they'll go to the boards, pick it off. Matthews, Conway, down low, Greer, and they just missed the net on that one. Look skyward. 9:21 remaining. Shots 50-34 in favor of the Rush. They lead 12-4 here on the Lacrosse Network. You're watching the NLL.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Tonight is the first of 3 straight road games for the Bandits. After tonight's game, they'll play on Sunday at Minnesota, a 2 p.m. Eastern start. Watch that game live right here on the Lacrosse Network. The Bandits' next home game is Saturday, April 5th against the Calgary Roughnecks. Game time, 7 p.m. For tickets, visit bandits.com.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard. Back live at Rexall Place in Edmonton. The Rush leading 12-4. They're averaging 8 goals against per game. Buffalo needs 8 in 9:21, Kevin. Unlikely that that will happen, I would think. Buffalo, they're just looking, I think, to now want to try to get some momentum heading into Minnesota. They're in a battle with Rochester for first place in the East. A loss tonight would drop them to 8-3 in a tie with Rochester, each with 7 games remaining. And home floor advantage huge in the East for those two teams especially.
Yeah, this Buffalo team just hasn't gotten it going at all tonight. And, you know, at very least, they would like to take some momentum going into Sunday's contest, but they haven't done too much right on the offensive side. Defense, they were phenomenal in the first quarter, and they just fell away from what has been working. Bottom line, they do have to stay out of the box. They have let in 5 power play goals, so they need to address their discipline.
There's Smith, a long shot from the outside, and that'll be over and back as he missed the net. And Edmonton will have 13 seconds remaining in their man advantage. 5 for 7 thus far. And Knight brings it in quick to Conway with Greer and Matthews. And Conway just not even going to try for a shot, so they'll be 5 for 8 on the power play as they come out. And now Conway rolls. Surprising decision. To Greer in front of the net. Wide open was Knight. And Cosmo, another big stop. And running the other way go the Bandits. Brownell and Stainhouse. Resiteritz across. Tavares, long shot, stop, rebound. There's going to be a holding call coming up against the Rush. Rubish has dropped the stick. And now Cosmo will make the long run to the bench. There's Resiteritz in a maze. Strip is picked up by Edmonton, and Buffalo will go back on the man advantage. They are 0 for 3 so far.
Well, good swarming defense by the Edmonton Rush. Any opportunities Buffalo is getting, they think there's an opening there, and just 4 bodies converge on the stick and on the body, and they're just having a tough time getting anything going. Mark Stainhouse has tried to do some things himself, but at times it just looks like he's trying to do too much. We haven't said too much of Sean Williams' name or Aaron Wilson. I mean, these are important cogs, important pieces of this offense who have just been flat tonight, for lack of another word.
So you will see it, and Aaron Bold getting attended to again. He's fine now as Smith and Resetaritz on the left side, Tavares and Williams on the right. Benesh will be the shooter. There's Benesh. Over to Dane Smith, fakes it, back to Benesh. Tavares scores! And that's his 798th career goal, 2 shy of 800.
Johnny Tavares, good shot for the Bandits' 5th goal of the game. Finally break that goalless streak. They went the whole entire 3rd quarter without burying one, and 7 minutes into this 4th quarter, just takes that pass from the top and shoots it over LaFontaine, using him as a screen. The ageless one buries another.
And Buffalo controls it. They'll push it back up the floor, down by 7. Midway through the 4th quarter. Smith, Dane, that is, and Benesh with the helpers. Stainhouse spinning off LaFontaine. Runs into Thompson now. He still has it, and he pushes it well wide to the far side. And Thompson in flight will pick it up, and he'll push it up the floor. Thompson now. Matthews coming off the bench quickly. Mark Matthews, and he can't control the pass. Good job by Brunel to come back and get a stick on that. And here comes Dane Smith with some speed across the line. Mitski engages him. He'll turn off Wilson. Short side shot, misses the net. Bounces out to center. Benesh has it. Wilson shot stopped. And the captain, Corbeil, has it. Corbeil will just slow down the pace. Working on Culp. Corbeil to Knight. Knight to Sorgetti. To Greer. Greer, now Sorgetti, wide open, scores! Adrian Sorgetti, hat-trick goal for the rookie, and it's 13-5.
Sorgetti and Zach Greer showing a little bit of chemistry. 2-man game. And Sorgetti, for getting into his first NLL game, 2nd NLL game, looking like he's played with Zach Greer for years. Great play. 2-man game. Slip pick underneath, and he was left all alone. Zach Greer doing a great job to find him. A little pop pass over top, and he buries it for his
2nd NLL goal. Now his
3rd goal in his NLL career.
Well, the Rush with possession. Now they dump it to Matthews. Matthews makes the shot. He's pushed back all the way, and he'll just throw it into the corner. 5:56 to go. Brock flips up on the right side to Williams. Tavares in front, Resetaritz. Shot, and that one misses the net. Went out the play, and back comes Mitski. To Sorgetti, so 3 Rush players with 3 goals. Greer, Knight, and Sorgetti. Balanced attack again for Edmonton. Conway stumbles as he passes it to Davis. He's got one of the singles tonight. Davis working on Smith. Greer's tied up. Davis to Conway. Now looking for Greer. Lost his stick. And Buffalo, Dane Smith with some speed, just loping up the middle of the floor, off the boards. A shot stopped. And Cornwall will go the other way. Cornwall off the bench ahead to Matthews. He didn't see the pass. hit him right in the head. Cornwall gets it back. I have no idea what Matthews was looking at. Oh, the boys on the bench will have some fun with that. There's Church to Matthews. Matthews just fires it behind the net, and it's Buffalo ball with 4.5 minutes remaining in the game. Shots 51-33, and the scoreboard all rush tonight. 13-5 for the home squad, looking to roll to 11-0. We'll come back with the final 4:36. You're watching National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
More NLL action coming your way tonight, live here on the Lacrosse Network. Just getting underway out west, the Vancouver Stealth are hosting the Calgary Roughnecks. Once our game ends here, go back to youtube.com/TLN and click over to the Stealth and Roughnecks game.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard. It has been all rush since the start of the second quarter. It was 3-2 Buffalo after 15 minutes. The Rush outscored them 7-1 in the second quarter, and they haven't looked back, leading now 13-5. Stainhouse shot, extra attacker on the floor for Buffalo. And now Cosmo's going to have to make the long run to the net. Corbeil has it, but he won't shoot. He'll just hold the ball. Ronell comes on him. They leave it to Conway. And in lacrosse, a lot of respect. A lot of times you won't try to run up the score too much late in the game. We'll see if the Rush even take a shot. Davis to Matthews. Cross to Conway. Another penalty coming up to the Rush, and there's to the Bandits, excuse me. I think Priolo is going to go, and the Rush will go on their 9th power play of the night.
You know, and Mark Matthews has done a great job. Hasn't put up huge numbers tonight. He has been kind of sprinkled here and there on the game sheet, but he's been right in the mix. And Priolo's had his hands full with them all night. Him and Rory Smith had some great battles earlier on in the game. And, he's going in the tough areas and battling. And just really that opens up space for his teammates and lets them work. Zach Greer being the beneficiary of that, burying 3 of the last 4 goals.
Former Rush goaltender Curtis Wagar comes in in not the best situation. He's going to come in cold and have to face a power play. Ouch. Conway and Matthews up high. Matthews back to Conway. Conway shot high and wide. Church rebound, and Wagar, big stop. Gets the paddle on it. The Rush control the rebound. Reset the clock. Matthews. Conway. Pass. Hits Rory Smith, and they'll set it up to Dane Smith. Smith working on LaFontaine. Smith comes in and rips one right at Aaron Bold. And now it's picked up by Edmonton. 3:10 to go. Rush back on the man advantage. They'll bring their number 1 unit out again. Well, the old hidden ball trick, and Conway comes away with it. Behind the back, Church. Passes behind him, will go down low to Knight. Greer slides in. Now Church to Matthews. He dropped it. They'll pick it back up. Matthews fires, and just as the shot clock expired, Wagar makes the save. 2 shots, 2 saves for him. Here comes Suttons. Quick pass across rest of territory. Bounce shot out of play. And the Rush will go back on with 41 seconds to go in the man advantage. John Lintz across center. To Matthews. Down low to Greer. Back to Matthews. Conway scores! Corey Conway just rips one high over the shoulder, and it's 14-5.
Lackadaisical Corey Conway from the top of the power play, a spot that he's going to have a tough time giving away. Wasn't there earlier in the season, but definitely finding a home there. Taking that pass and ripping it short side over the shoulder of Curtis Wagar for a power play goal. His first goal of the game, a power play goal. Really putting up the numbers tonight.
And Conway, it's his first goal. He had 7 assists before that. Now he's got 8 points. And it's Rush possession with 2 minutes to go. Greer being in on 5 straight goals now. Now Greer beats his man, goes to the net, and Wagar sticks with him. Makes the save. And here comes Brock. Brock, Wilson shot, Bold spins, and he'll hold on, make the save. And here comes Corbeil. Corbeil to Sorgetti. Over to Matthews. Matthews, quick pass across the floor, Conway. Conway waiting, rolls it in front, just looking for Church as Brian had lost his stick, but he couldn't control it. And now Smith, bounce pass off the bench, rest of Terrace, stopped by Bold. And Rubish gets the rebound. We are under a minute to go now. The Edmonton Rush will improve to 11-0 on the season. Corey Conway with 8 points to lead the offensive assault tonight. There's Davis in the neutral zone being hounded. And he'll just roll it into the corner. Down to 37 seconds. The Edmonton Rush, some people thought maybe they'd take the foot off the gas at 7-0. They beat Calgary on the road 15-7, and now tonight at home, a convincing win over the second best team record-wise in the league, Buffalo, 14-5 late. Now here's a shot, Stainhouse wide of the net. Tavares down low in front. Stainhouse shot, stopped by Bold. Rebound controlled by the Rush. And now with 7 seconds, they will just count it down. The Edmonton Rush, Kevin, they've played every team in the league. They have defeated every team in the league. Right now, there is no argument. They are the class of the National Lacrosse League.
This is a dominant performance that we just witnessed here tonight, putting a beating on the second place Buffalo Bandits, 14-5, putting up good numbers against a solid defensive unit and holding an incredible offensive squad in Buffalo to only 5 goals and, more impressively, only 37 shots. So they are firing on all cylinders, this Edmonton Rush team, doing everything right and doing it at both ends of the floor.
Not much you can say about, this is a perfect game for the Rush. They only allow 5 goals. They lower their league-leading goals against average from 8 down to 7.9 now. You know what? You don't expect that, especially against the Buffalo team with so many high-powered offensive players. But Ryan Benesh ends up with 2 assists tonight, no goals. Mark Stainhouse, no points. I don't know, we'd have to look that up, Kevin. That might be the first time in his career he's never had a point.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, the offense funnels through him. He always seems to end up on the score sheet. But this Edmonton team, normally teams that are so good at one thing usually have holes somewhere else. It's usually a balance thing. You can't be the best defensive team and a great offensive team. It usually just doesn't work like that. But this Edmonton Rush team this year is definitely an anomaly. We haven't seen any team like this since the 93 Bandits, whose record they smashed earlier in the season to start the year 8-0. But they are getting it done, and this Edmonton, the city of Edmonton, is definitely being treated to an impressive feat for not just lacrosse team, but a sports franchise in North America.
So the Rush will enjoy this one. They will head on the road for a tough back-to-back set next weekend. They have Saturday night in Rochester, Sunday afternoon in Toronto. Meanwhile, the Bandits will continue their road trip. They will fly back east. They'll stop in Minnesota for an afternoon affair, 2 o'clock Eastern time, for all the Bandits fans to check out right here on the National Lacrosse Network, watch the NLL. Once again, recapping the scoring for the Rush. They were led by Corey Conway with a goal and 7 assists. Zach Greer had 3 goals and 3 assists. Mark Matthews, a goal and 6 helpers. Curtis Knight, 3 goals and assists. Rookie Aaron Sorgetti picked up his first 3 goals of his NLL career in only his second game. Defensively, what can you say about the Rush group led by Rubish, Corbeil, Midsky, Dilks? Jeff Cornwall had a goal tonight. John Lintz, another solid defensive effort. Johnny LaFontaine, Jeremy Thompson, Nick Billick. Every one of those defenders, that entire unit, Kevin, right now, there's really not a weakness. It's not like there's one guy that teams try to focus on.
Well, I think the 3 guys that you mentioned, there's their 3 stars to the game. Our 3rd star, Curtis Knight. 2nd star, Zach Greer. 1st star, Corey Conway. And you just spoke of them. I really want to mention the play of Jeff Cornwall. Phenomenal, and I think he was really the spark plug that ignited a lot of the offense. This defense is so good, but him especially tonight, he did have the 1 goal. It was just phenomenal speed, good foot race. But what he was doing all night, he was boxing his offensive, player he was playing against offensively, boxing him out, doing a great job getting that loose ball, and he's just so great at putting his head down, ducking, and going with it. And you know what? It's a tough quality to find from any lacrosse player, to just say get the ball and go run the floor, and it creates so much offense. It keeps an unbalance out there when so many offensive players get stuck out there playing defense, and then you have your big hired guns coming out there in the Zach Greer, in the Corey Conway, in the Mark Matthews, and that's a lot to handle for a purely offensive guy. So I think my star is Jeff Cornwall, really kept them unbalanced tonight, and that's a big part of the success of this team, is they're getting contributions in so many ways from so many different players, and they're just firing on all cylinders.
And Aaron Bold, Kevin, allowed 4 goals on 15 shots in the first half. None bad by any stretch, but in the second half, when they needed him, he was outstanding. Stopped all 13 shots in the second quarter, and only allowed 1 goal in the final 23 shots that he faced. So another solid performance by Aaron Bold, and the defense and the offense by committee tonight. They all chip in with either assists or goals, and the Rush are now 11-0, and they also clinch their first ever home playoff date. The Rush need to win 2 of their remaining 7 games to clinch first place overall, but they have clinched no worse than second, so they would host the West semifinal, but they are obviously setting their sights to get the bye and then have a home floor advantage in the new playoff format. I want to ask you that. We haven't discussed it yet, but now that the Rush have clinched a playoff spot, the new playoff format in the second round is a best of 2, but the team that's ranked higher starts on the road. They get the second game at home in case it's split 1-1 and the overtime is at home. What do you think? Is it better to start on the road? Is it that much of an advantage, or do you think it's a disadvantage by having to go on the road for game 1?
I think it's more of a disadvantage. I think playing at home and getting that momentum and really setting the tone, myself personally, I would rather have it at home and really, set the tone and let it be known like that this is your series, your way to win. The way the Edmonton Rush are playing right now, I don't see them losing in a 2-game series, or if it was a 3-game or a 4-game series. They're that dominant. 1 game makes it so dangerous. You don't want to be in that 2 or 3 spot. Of course, you want to make the playoffs because anything can happen. But I mean, that one game, anything can happen. Like any given Sunday, anyone can beat anyone. So it's a huge advantage to get that first round bye and get into that second round where you actually have a 2-game series. And like I said, the way they're playing, I don't see them losing.
Well, the Rush injuries, some will say maybe it's too early right now. But so far, so good. The Rush have been picture perfect. Meanwhile, the Bandits will lick their wounds, and they will look to regain first place in their division. They are now tied with Rochester, each with a record of 8-3. On behalf of our on-site engineer, Troy Bowler, the color man, Kevin Howard, I am Jason Gregor saying good night from Rexall Place. Once again, the final score, Edmonton 14, Buffalo 5. Stay tuned right here to the Lacrosse Network for all the post-game reaction from both dressing rooms, and you can tune in to the out-of-town scoreboard where Calgary is all over Vancouver in the first half. They lead 8-1, excuse me. They just scored. It is now 8-1 Calgary, and then tomorrow Toronto takes on Philadelphia. Good night.